Patricia Rogers, CSTD, is an author, owner of Body to Brain Therapy, and three-time nationally ranked USA yoga athlete. Her therapy practice is informed by her personal experience connecting to her body and healing from a lifetime of chronic anxiety, depression, and addiction. She treats people of all ages with a variety of emotional and physical disorders, empowering them to master nervous system regulation so they can realize their full potential. She holds the highest level of certification from the world-renowned Upledger Institute, where she serves as an advanced preceptor and leads teams of therapists in week-long international therapy retreats, a leader in her field, and one-to-one work with her own clients as well. Beautiful. Welcome to the stage, Patricia.
Hello. I'm sipping Constant Comment. It's a black tea with an orange rind and sweet spice. So, I'm Patricia C. Rogers, the author of the forthcoming book with the working title, Shit Show Transformation. Connect to your body, trust your gut, and relax so you can restore mental health. I'll share my story of recovery from a lifetime of chronic mental illness and issues and give you a roadmap and health issues and give you a roadmap to do the same. This is an excerpt from the chapter which is all about spotting and utilizing resources amidst a life in chaos. The working title of this chapter is 30 Days into the Slammer, Benadryl, Super Donuts, and Downward Dog. Busted for drunk driving, I had a 30-day opportunity to contemplate what a shit show my life had become. My short-sleeved orange jumpsuit was no match for the 67-degree average temperature of the cell block. Huddling underneath my so-called blanket helped only marginally. Super donut mornings were my favorites, though they were few and far between. Unlike the rest of the tasteless frozen foods we got, Super donuts were warmed in their individually wrapped plastic bags, and they retained their heat long enough to make it to the women's block. Warm in my belly, they took the edge off the cold for a moment. But this particular day was not a Super Donuts day. Lying there, my eyes fixated on the beam overhead, where the brown power was written in cursive with a black Sharpie. My cellmate, Johnny, a member of the Winnebago Nation, had shared the fabulous tip that Benadryl was available for purchase from the commissary. You could take a dose and sleep late, which wasted a smidge of the day away. Unfortunately, plenty of time was still left over for me to ruminate on my shortcomings. Of course, at that point in my life, I didn't have the perspective I do now. If I did, I would have known that the groundwork had been laid for my downward spiral to full-scale rock bottom. Nervous system dysregulation was deeply patterned in my body from the start. Growing up with loving but uber-stressed parents, I failed to develop healthy nervous system function in childhood. In puberty, hormonal fluctuations and teenage challenges added to nervous system dysfunction and emotional distress. To compound things, my stay in a psych ward at age 16 gave me the message that something was inherently wrong with me. Internalizing that limiting belief, I fulfilled the prophecy through increasingly self-destructive behaviors and life choices. As my life eroded around me, so did my integrity. And with diminished integrity, I began to harbor a deep sense of shame and self-loathing. But lying there in my jail cell that day, I didn't have those insights. I just had the deep shame and self-loathing and the cold. That morning, I was daydreaming about being warm when a DVD I'd used at home came to mind. Susan Deason's Yoga Conditioning for Weight Loss. I could hear her words. Feel the heat rising up from your belly. The idea struck me. Maybe I could warm my body in here with yoga. I could start with triangle pose, I thought. I chose the least conspicuous corner and I gave it a try. I put my body in the correct position, best I could recall. I didn't consistently remember to breathe without the prompts from the instructor, and I didn't have the patience to hold the posture the appropriate length of time. But sure enough, after moving my body into warrior and downward dog, the cold began to abate from my bones. Little did I know that experience planted a seed that would grow to be a huge source of transportation down the road. Before my life started moving in a more constructive direction, I navigated another 3 years of interesting experiences combined with disappointments, like creating a sustainable exercise competition for hundreds of Choctaw elders and entering a marriage that failed in 8 months flat. For the time being, I'd given up on believing that I could have a fulfilling life, so I resigned to going through the motions. Fortunately, my disjointed path collided with a few great resources along the way, and by the time I hit rock bottom, I had an idea where I might find light at the end of the tunnel. To get a sneak peek of Shit Show Transformation from the chapter entitled Anxiety Demystified, visit Patricia C. Rogers and access it for free. My business name is Body to Brain Therapy. For information on the one-on-one work I do and intensive therapy programs, as well as the book cover reveal and updates on publishing, stay connected by visiting my Facebook page, Body to Brain Therapy, and visit bodytobrain.com. And again, to access this free sneak peek of Shit Show Transformation, visit patriciacrogers.com. Thanks so much.
Wonderful, Patricia. This is, I think it's even brave that you chose this particular portion to share in the salon. There is such a veil of secrecy and shame around incarceration. I mean, there's so many themes in your story here, but I think what it's like to be incarcerated and then coming out on the other side of that is there are not enough stories like that. And I know that's not even the point of what you shared, but that I think it's really honest, and you take me there, and then you make me feel what it's like to be human in that space. And one question that I'm always interrogating in my own writing is, when you take everything away, what's left? And it's really interesting that, for your experience, when you took everything away, what was left was donuts and the memory of a yoga video. And then what you've done with that is just beyond remarkable. So thank you so much for sharing your story.